Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mike Pisani with smartoptiontrading.com. You could also catch me on Twitter at OptionsMike. It is Tuesday, the 18th of May, and I hope everybody's doing great. We come into this market this week with a couple little changes from last week. Last week, we finally had a little bit of a sell-off. Not big. If you look here at a chart of the S&P 500, we pulled back a little bit over 3%. Ultimately, in the S&P 500, we held the 50-day. If you look back all the way to November, you see that purple line. That is where we've been holding nonstop. So the 50-day continues to be support in the S&P 500. As of this morning, we're trading right below this 410 area. Just above this 410 area. 410 is a big area for this market. Above 410, we look very, very good. That's where there's been a lot of resistance in that. So as long as we hold above 410, we're in great shape. We get above Friday's high of 417 and change, and we're ready to rock. So these are some areas to keep an eye on. Yes, this market still has a lot of concerns about inflation. It's not going away, but right now the market's trying to look past it, and it's basically rotating into names they figure to be inflation safe. Big difference between the SPY and then you go to the next chart on the Qs. The Qs have had a much deeper pullback. We're back over 5%, still not into anywhere near a correction, but big pullback on the Qs here. You can see this cup and handle patterns getting very long in the tooth. By that, I mean that this handle has really gone further than you would like. It shouldn't go below the top of the cup, which it did here. It broke below this 324 area. That said, if the Qs was to take out the 50-day, whereas the SPY used it as support, the Qs are using it as resistance here, and break above this down channel, right, break out, maybe the Qs start to wake up and rejoin this market. You kind of have to wait for it at this point. Qs could be weak for a while. If inflation is real, you're going to see a lot of growth names get hit. Speaking of growth, I want to pull up a chart on ARKK. ARKK is Kathy Wood's ETF, and this is a very, very high growth-oriented name. Last year, she killed the markets, right? This year, she's down over 35%, and she's getting beaten up pretty good. One of the reasons is because she's in growth names. She's in names like Tesla and Coin and Twitter and Skills and Path and Unity. And these are the type of names that are all high growth, which in a high interest environment, an inflationary environment, just do not do very well. So you can see here, if you're looking for a time of when to get back into those names, you can watch this ETF. This ETF, if it turns and it takes out this 106 area with some volume, maybe that's a sign that growth is coming back into vogue. Or you can just play ARKK. It's a great way to play on these growth names and not having to go into each one individually. Some things to keep in mind as we start looking forward as we're coming up into the end of May at this point. Two charts for you here today to look at and to keep your eyes on, and they're both related to metals. Gold. Gold finally got the breakout move yesterday. You can see we've had this long downtrend, and for the last couple of weeks, we've been trying to slowly grind up, and here's your move out and above the 200-day. So if you like gold and you like it for a move, I think the next move would be all the way up into this 183 area. That could be a pretty big move for gold. What you want it to do now is continue to hold above the 200-day. That's the green line. Great and easy to play, very, very liquid in the GLD. That is the ETF that tracks gold. Very easy to play with this. So I'd keep an eye on this name on pullbacks. And if inflation concerns continue to be out there, gold is a hedge against inflation. I would keep my eye on this. And the last way you can play this is by going into the gold miners. I like GDX. GDX here also an ETF, very liquid. It tracks all the different gold and silver miners out there. And you can see this had an explosive move yesterday. Big move higher. Now, I'm not saying I would be chasing this up into these levels, right? But for me, if it pulled back, reconnected with the 8-day, that's the gold moving average down here that's curling up, maybe around the 38.50 area, that might be a nice little place to get long. For a move on this one, easily back up into the 41 area, if not higher, or all the way up even to the 43.50. Does not move as fast as gold because it's a lot smaller. So that's my thoughts with you guys today. I hope you're all doing well. It's coming up on summer. I hope everybody's ready for it, and I'll catch you guys live next week.